Welcome back out to the shop. Tonight we're back on the Betsy Ross Jeep project. It's going to be a random week. I'm going to work on it every evening this week that I have the ability. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just a lot of reassembly stuff. I'm going to try to get as much little piddly stuff done as I can. Going to get some new parts put in. Going to get some old parts put in, and we got to dig through some parts bins to see what we've got and what we need to buy still. A lot of cleaning of new interior parts. It's going to be, you know, just a lot of reassembly. I want to get this so that it can actually look like an actual Jeep, and get as far as I can this week. So that's the plan, and you guys come along for the entertainment factor, maybe. But at the very least, I'm gonna put you on the tripod and have you do some time lapse, and we'll bring you in if I think anything's interesting. But that's it. Let's get to it. We're not doing this again. We're not doing it again. Where are you going? This guy spooks easy. Okay, well, not a whole lot interesting, but got some time lapse in there. What I did so far was I went through and I re-loomed the section over here that I had to tear the looming out of the wires when I put the new battery cables in. So that's all done. Meantime, I found a broken wire, and I found another thing that was unplugged. So just plugging away at little bits and pieces. I also put on the air conditioning condense. This is the condenser, that's the evaporator. I put that on there, that thing. So getting a little bit done. This is all this is going to be. Kind of going a little bit at a time. Here's one that you might find interesting. It's you can get them off of Amazon, and they're rubber bumpers. Replace those. This thing here is just all beat up and cracked. So this guy here, come on, open it up. Let's just set you guys there. I can pull these apart. They just pop on there, like, you know what, putting a little bit of lube on them would probably be good. This one was missing. And that is how you adjust this. Yeah. No rattle. And it doesn't even have the seal in it. Uh-oh. That might be locked. Okay. Battled with that a little bit. There we go. So, little WD-40 all up in that space. I think we got that solved. But the point was that it's shut, it doesn't rattle. And then a lot of times when it's shut, you hear that. Oh, that drives me nuts. So when these bumpers aren't adjusted right, whew, it's terrible. This thing probably hasn't been adjusted right for a long time because, well, that bumper was missing, and because the way that this hatch is broken, it leads me to believe that somebody was like slamming it or trying to deal with that rattle a different way. Oh, but that's so much nicer. Okay, so that's fun. WD-40 to get it freed up, and then eventually we'll spray it with some grease. On to the next one. Okay, well, it's the end of Tuesday night, and I couldn't help myself. I had to throw a grill on there to just kind of get a look and see how it would look like, and well, I tell you what, it looks like a 20-year-old Jeep, but it's looking good. It's coming together nicely. I think that's it's a big step, but that's not on there permanently. But you know, hey, I need that little encouragement every now and then. So I'm gonna call it for tonight and come back tomorrow and probably take that thing right back off of there. But we're getting really close to that. Just need a couple more things and I can slap that on there. I want to get the air conditioning compressor and all that stuff hooked in, and that's what I did. Is I painted up some brackets, and I've been chasing around trying to find the right wires and hoses and stuff that go places. So this episode might just be called Mark Tries to Find Things in His Shop. But yeah, well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Welcome back. It's Wednesday, and had some packages show up today. So these are parts that I ordered. Here, why don't you guys just yeah, you hang out up there. So these are parts that I ordered for her Jeep. First one here. Oh, look at that beauty. Oh, coolant overflow reservoir. Yeah, that's pretty. All right, the second one, let's see if we can get this guy out. Okay, this one is the, oh yeah, it's a new hatch seal. So let me show you where this is gonna go. This guy goes down in here, and it will go all the way up around here and seal up the hatch. The old one was all torn up, and so we found a new one online, and I will install that. So links to both of them can be found in the description. If you want to click on them, go ahead. If you want one of them, actually all three of the items, the reservoir, the seal, and the bumpers, I'll put the Amazon links in the link below. It's an affiliate link. I haven't actually made any money off the affiliate thing yet, but there's like $7 there from people clicking that link that will help me eventually maybe buy some parts or something. At any rate, it gives you the ability to find the item, and it throws like a couple pennies at the channel. So don't feel obligated, but if you're looking for any of that stuff, the Amazon links, if they're Amazon, are in the links below. But anyway, so that's about the cleanest one I've ever seen of these. I tried to save, I probably have 5 of these things. And one of them is in the basement because I took it in and I cleaned it and I cleaned it and cleaned it and cleaned it, and I tried to get it clean, but the passage to the bottom was clogged up. So this jug, hang out there. This jug has this connector here that runs down along the bottom and connects into the bottom so that the radiator can suck fluid off the bottom of the tube. Well, this thing right here was all clogged up, and so I even though I got the jug pretty clean, it wasn't super clean. And the other one that I have right here is what it looked like when I started. And this guy, this is another one that I have that came out. I don't remember where this one came from, but this is what they look like inside. That is often what they look like, especially when you have a Jeep that has had a head gasket issue or something. And if you hold it up to the light right there, you can see that passage is clogged too. And despite much efforts of trying to get that clean, I have not had success getting it clean. And the new repop Dorman unit off of Amazon was like 30 bucks. So that's the way this Jeep is going to nickel and dime me to death. That's what Jeeps do. So, all right, we're gonna get these installed. Well, there you go. That went on really well. Still got to deal with that latch, but that's for another night. I've spent a little bit of time hunting for stuff, and here's what I came up with. I started looking for the cooling fans and the front cross member here and the radiator support, and here's what I came up with. I have this fan that doesn't have the bracketry. I have this fan that the bracketry is broken on the bottom, but it seems to spin okay. And then I have this one where the bracketry is broken on the top, and it seems like somebody has created a connection for it, but it doesn't work great. Looks like we might have an okay fan shroud here. But anyway, I gotta keep digging. I have a few more. Hopefully I can find one with good shroud and bracketry and all that. I was hoping one of these three would have it, but they don't. So I know I've got a couple more in the basement. I'm gonna go search for those. And then the main thing that I set out to try to find that I didn't find is the rubber radiator mounts for the top of the radiator. So on these bolts, here and here, there's a rubber mount that comes up, and then there's a single bolt that comes through the cross member. It's like a square puck, and I don't have any of the other radiators. I don't have any of the radiator that came out of this. I don't have the radiator that came out of that. I actually don't keep them because they pull money at the yard. So I know to take those off of them. So the question is, do I have them here anywhere, and can I find them? And so far the answer to that is no. I have not been able to find them, and I don't know if I have any here. So anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure this episode is just going to be called I Look for Stuff. This is the doohickey that we're looking for. I found one of them. It was in the bin over there. It goes on here like this, and then this bolt, I need 2 nuts for here and a nut for there, and then that isolates this from that bar. Found one. Didn't find 2. Sometimes they do get a little rotten, a little rusty, and this thing right here will break off. And sometimes I forget to, well, no, I don't think I ever forgot to pull one off. I just have them break sometimes. Anyway, rather than keep looking, here's what we're going to do. Go on Amazon. We're going to buy one of these things. We're going to do 2. And we're going to hit add to the cart. So, that'll be here next week, or in a couple weeks. Okay, well, I got the rest of the air conditioning lines in and coolant stuff. Little odds and ends. That's it for Wednesday. Gonna wait for these parts to come in and then I can put the cross member on. I am gonna hunt around the basement for a better fan, but that's it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back out to the shop. I hope your Friday's going as good as mine. Yeah, we skipped Thursday in there somewhere. Yeah. Gave us enough time for these guys to show up. Yesterday, Thursday, was basketball practice for my sons, and they both have practice at the same time, so my wife goes to one and I go to the other. So my whole evening was shot. But here we got, that gave us enough time for these to show up. And completely waste all of the time that I spent looking for these. But next time, they're in that one's in that bucket. So next time, you guys remind me. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in and do this thing and then do as much as I can and move on to the next thing. I know a lot of this project has been for my daughter, and we're supposed to be working on it together, but she's not here. It's taken a lot longer than we expected. She's a teenage girl and she has a job, but she does come out and help a lot even when she's not on camera. And here's a perfect example of how incredibly helpful she has been. This bin right here is where I put Jeep bolts. When I do a part out, or if I'm disassembling something, I'll toss all of the bolts in there from that Jeep. I've had a couple of them over the years, but they've always kind of been separated from the rest. So this is the miscellaneous bins. This is where anything goes. But in this bin, it was only Jeep parts. This is something that's pretty cool. I set her on this task to do this, to separate them. And then after she was done with that, so separate them meaning bolts, screws, washers, nuts, and bolts. So small bolts and large bolts. She did the same thing for the Jeep stuff. So Jeep related bolts or nuts, washers, screws, and bolts. And what we're after right now is in this bin. So we have to find the little tiny nuts that fit that, because they're in there. There's one right there. Come on. There it is. And that right there just saved me probably 20 minutes of digging through that other bin. Now you might ask, hey, you guys did put them all in plastic bags. When we were disassembling this, we took it all and put it in plastic bags and labeled it. And yes, I do that if I'm going to work on a specific project, but unfortunately, if you go back to the beginning of the videos for this Jeep, it didn't come with the radiator in it. It came with the whole front end off, and we don't have the parts that came in through here. So I have to get them off of the donor, and I have to get them off of the other stuff that I had laying around the shop. And so that right there is just awesome. So thank you, Mara. I know you watch, so thank you. So this cross member came from one of the Jeeps. One of the Jeeps, whether it was this one or the donor or the silver one that I had before, I don't remember. It's the one that had the fans attached to it. Silver one. One of the last few Jeeps that I've had this cross member attached to it, and I don't remember which one, but I have an answer as to, I'll show you why I probably don't have very many of those little mounts. These are the bolts that the radiator attached to that go onto those mounts. But as you can see there, it's still there, because the mount was broken. So that's the same on that side and on that side. So whatever Jeep this one came out of, those were bad anyway. So I have my answer. I had at least two less than I could have had. I think I gotta get that cleaned up and put it in. Welcome back out to the shop. It's Saturday. Friday went by like that, and I don't even remember where we left off last night, but this morning we came out and got working. I gave this crossmember piece a little scratch and spritz treatment. Mara is outside cleaning the interior pieces and random plastics and stuff like that that's going to start going back in. The crossmember is drying. Did I have to spray it? No, but it looks so much better in there next to the rest of that if it has some paint on it. Plus it had some spots that kind of needed it, and so, you know, it's working. So I'm just going to keep going through little bits and pieces like that today. I'm thinking I'm probably going to take the steering box back out. It really pains me to do it, but the input seal, the steering shaft seal is leaking on that, and I'm gonna get another one out and clean it up and see if it fits. So here's where we go. Okay, I have been hunting around and battling with steering boxes for a little while now, and I pulled these guys out of where they were. One of them's from the donor, another one's from a part out that I did I don't know how long ago, and they both seem to have a similar problem to the one that's in there. One of them's worse than the other. This one is leaking really bad right down in here. You can see it already left a little bit on the ground. It's looking like that's not a bad option, but I gotta replace that leak. This one, same deal. It has all this residue around the front, and that box is also covered in oil residue, so it too is probably leaking. Which makes the one that's in there the nicest looking, the best box for what we've got to do. But it's also leaking. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to just leave it the way that it is for now, and we will come back and deal with it another day. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I think I might try to rebuild one of them. So I'll take one of them apart and see how hard it is to get the seals, how hard it is to get into them and get them replaced. If it's relatively easy, then I'll order a seal kit and then replace the seals on the one that's in there or one of these other ones that I have. But that's not a today thing. That's a day 2 thing. I think we can get through inspection with the steering box the way that it is, and even though it's a little more difficult to get it out after it's been all put back together, it's not impossible, and it is what it is. We'll just deal with that another day. I thought maybe I would just address it now because everything's open and I can get to it real easy, but I'm just gonna move on to something else, and consider the 3 hours that I spent on it today a waste of time. Alright, we're harvesting more parts from the donor Jeep to put into this Jeep. She's getting another piece. We're going to scratch and spritz that one too. But I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today. We'll probably be out here a little bit longer, but I'm going to put this video into the computer and let it do its uploady thingies, and we'll get it up to you guys so you can watch it. So that'll be it for now. We're making a little bit of progress. Like I said, it's a week of random, and so not a whole lot got done, but some got done, but you saw pretty much most of it. So, but that's it for now. Thanks for stopping out. What do you say, Mara?
Like this video.
Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.